Hello everybody, and today we are going to talk about everybody's favorite cryptid, well, at least mine, the Mothman. But we're also going to be talking about another cryptid as well, the Jersey Devil. So, let's get in. Let's talk about each one of those. It's Mothman versus Jersey Devil. Now, they do have some similarities. They're both supposed to be winged creatures with like a man-like type body with wings. The Mothman is supposed to have red eyes, and I think the Jersey Devil, I saw somewhere in all of my research on him too, that he was reported to have red eyes. Both of them are kind of comical characters. Both of them have never killed anybody. Never has it been documented that Mothman has killed someone or the Jersey Devil has killed someone. So let's dig in. So about this time last year, my birthday is September the 12th. And on my birthday last year, yes, during a pandemic, I was at the Mothman Museum in Point Pleasant, West Virginia. And I was so happy to be there. Oh my goodness. I love the place. It's definitely a place you have to check out. If you have never been there, check it out. Point Pleasant, West Virginia. You have to slap the steel buns of the Mothman statue. It's a tradition when you go there. I loved it there. Oh my gosh. Okay, anyway, so yeah, let's talk about these characters. All right, so the first sighting of the Mothman was reported in 1966. The first sighting of the Jersey Devil was reported in 1909. The last sighting of the Mothman was documented 1967. The last documented sighting of the Jersey Devil still continues to this day. It's ongoing. And some might argue and say, well, I have seen online that there's reported Mothman sightings still ongoing too. Well, there probably is, but I don't believe in those current sightings. The last documented, meaning someone actually went to the police and said, hey, write this down, this is what I saw. It happened in 1967. Now, there's two completely different stories of how these creatures originated. So the Mothman originated when, and I've heard two variations of this story, okay? The very first story that I heard, and this is when I was a kid and I was watching Unsolved Mysteries, the first season. I think there's the season without Robert Stack when Dennis Farina was hosting it. I do believe he did the same story, only it was changed a little bit. But with Robert Stack when I was a kid on Unsolved Mysteries, because I loved that show. So there was a couple who was having an affair, and they had drove out to an old abandoned TNT factory that was used during the war. They drove out there to that, and they parked, and they were, getting hot and heavy, and this black winged creature jumps on the hood of the car, and it just stares at them. At first they're terrified, then they begin driving the car, and as they're driving the car towards town, terrified, the creature begins to follow them. It flies above the car, it keeps the same speed as the car, and that's when they notice its wingspan, that it has a huge wingspan, and it's flying, and it's making light creature sounds, not like what you would expect, like a big roar or anything like that, like really high-pitched sounds as it's flying. As they get closer to town, it disappears, but they're still pretty shook up, so they go into the police station and they give their report, and of course they have to mention that they were together and what they were doing, so then it had come out about their affair. That's the origin story that I first heard as a kid that stuck with me. Later, like until recently, the story I heard was a group of teenagers were in a car, same time period, everything. These teenagers were the ones that first spotted the Mothman. Same kind of scenario. They go out to the TNT factory, only they're going out there to smoke some weed and drink. They happen upon the Mothman. Same thing. They start driving towards town. The closer they get to town, he disappears. He's flying above the car. He's keeping the same speed as the car. They notice his wingspan, his red eyes, and he's making light chirping sounds. That was the story that I just heard as of last year. And I'm like, what? That's not what I remember from being a kid. So anyway, there are several different documentaries. I know one is on Amazon Prime. I believe one is on Netflix as well, about the Mothman. There is a movie, The Mothman Prophecies, which starred Richard Gere. And the museum has a lot of artifacts from the movie, but it also has a lot of items from the town that people had collected over the years, such as the documented statements from the people that have seen it to the police. And it's very interesting. Anyway, so also the Mothman in 1967, his last official sighting was a massive bridge collapse that happened in West Virginia, in Point Pleasant. And it is said that when the bridge collapsed, the Jersey Devil was seen flying up above. However, there are a lot of people that claim that the red lights that people were seeing, that they claim were the red eyes of the Mothman, were actually safety lights that are on the top of every steel bridge over a body of water. Those lights are always up there and blinking. And that could have been what people were seeing. And because it was foggy, it was snowing, it was dark, you know, people's minds just went to, you know, oh, it's the Mothman. It's the Mothman. And then it raised a question, was the Mothman trying to warn everybody not to go up, you know, not to go on the bridge, to get off the bridge? Or did the Mothman cause the collapse of the bridge? I personally think he was, if he was there, was trying to give a warning for people to get off of the bridge. It is also reported that after people have gone to the police and made an official statement that they have seen the Mothman, they are soon visited by the Men in Black. Not the movie Men in Black. Like, these men weren't near as handsome as Will Smith, I'm sure, but they were visited by the Men in Black, who asked them several questions, wanted to come into their homes and this and that and the other, and people didn't want to talk to them. Of course, they were put off by them. But they were, you know, men dressed in black suits with the white shirt, black tie, black hat, black sunglasses, never removed their sunglasses. Some people spoke to them, but most people did not want to speak to them, and they just ignored them. They just shut the door in their face and went about their business, and the Men in Black would leave. So then that caused a stir in the town, so everybody wanted to know, why are the men in, you know, why is there a man in black coming to visit you? Could it be that the Mothman is an alien? So that starts a whole nother conspiracy. Is the Mothman a alien? Who knows at this point? Some people think that he came from the unused chemicals from the TNT factory, and really it's a mutated sand crane. I don't know. Anyway, so now let's switch gears and talk about the Jersey Devil. That was just a little backstory into the Mothman. I could sit and tell you about the Mothman for days and days, but I don't want to keep this video going for forever and a day because you're going to get bored. So anyway, so Now let's switch gears and talk about the Jersey Devil. Now, I don't really know much about the Jersey Devil. I've heard of the Jersey Devil, but I had to do some research even to find any information about the Jersey Devil. So there have been many different sightings of the Jersey Devil versus Mothman. He's been around a lot longer, that's for sure. He's been around since 1909. People are still claiming that they've seen the Jersey Devil. So yeah, he's been around the block, you know what I mean? So I'm going to read some of what information I have found on the Jersey Devil, but before I go do that, let me talk about his beginnings. So a woman, an old farmer, had 12 children, and she became pregnant with her 13th child. And, you know, a lot of people, being very superstitious and, you know, they hold strong in their beliefs, believed that the number 13 was unlucky. So she naturally believed that this child was going to be cursed, that there was going to be something wrong with this child because it was the 13th child. So rumor has it that when she gave birth, the child came out looking like a devil. Okay? It immediately had wings and it flew away and was flying around and everything. It would come back because that was its mother. It would come back and she would feed it or whatever, nurture it, mother it, whatever. But ultimately, it would fly around and it would distract farmers and animals, and it was just a big nuisance. I mean, there really was, he didn't do anything harmful to anybody. He didn't kill anybody or anything like that. It was just a nuisance. But the fact that it looked like a devil, and that it resembled a man, just kind of like the Mothman. It had a man-like body, red glowing eyes and wings, and like I said, it would fly around and just aggravate the crap out of everybody and was just a big nuisance. There have been many claims of sightings and occurrences involving the Jersey Devil. According to legend, while visiting the Hanover Mill Works to inspect his cannonballs being forged, Commodore Stephen Decatur sighted a flying creature and fired a cannonball directly upon it, to no effect. So this thing was hit with a cannonball and just kept flying. Joseph Bonaparte, elder brother of Napoleon, is also claimed to have seen the Jersey Devil while hunting in his Bordentown estate about 1820. But that's all the detail. There's no details on it, at least that I could find, about that occurrence. During 1840, the Jersey Devil was blamed for several livestock killings. Similar attacks were reported during 1841, accompanied by tracks and screams. Now, I know I said that, you know, he didn't kill anyone or anything, but it was just speculation that it was the Jersey Devil, kind of like the Mothman with the bridge thing. Like, did he do it, or did people just need something to blame? Because they couldn't figure out what really happened. They couldn't figure out the truth, so they just needed something to blame. And I think that that is what happened in that case. In Greenwich, during December 1925, a local farmer shot an unidentified animal as it attempted to steal his chickens, and then photographed the corpse. Afterward, he claimed that none of 100 people he showed it to could identify it. On July 27, 1937, an unknown animal with red eyes, seen by residents of Downingtown, Pennsylvania, was compared to the Jersey Devil by a reporter for the Pennsylvania Bulletin of July 28, 1937. In 1951, a group of Gibbstown, New Jersey boys claimed to have seen a monster matching the devil's description, and claims of a corpse matching the Jersey Devil's description arose in 1957. During 1960, tracks and noises heard from Mays Landing were claimed to be from the Jersey Devil. During the same year, the merchants around Camden offered a $10,000 reward for the capture of the Jersey Devil, even offering to build a private zoo to house the creature once it was captured. That is crazy. That is nuts, but it's cool. It really is. I mean, think about it. Like, it's cool. You know, in cryptic lore, it's cool. So the next thing that I want to share is hoaxes. Of course, when you have any dealing with cryptids, there's always hoaxes. I mean, look at Bigfoot. There's been so many hoaxes about Bigfoot. It's unreal. But you know, the funny thing is, no one has had a hoax arise with the Mothman. Nowhere is there a hoax about the Mothman. Nowhere. Crazy, right? Okay, so Gordon Stein, in Encyclopedia of Hoaxes, which was published in 1993, noted that the alleged footprints of the Jersey Devil during the 1909 resembled a horse's hoof. According to Stein, a man later admitted he had faked some of the footprints, which 1909 was the first sighting of the Jersey Devil, and it was during the winter time, and he stumbled across, you know, those footprints or whatever and saw him flying around, but now he's saying, yeah, I did the footprints. Jeff Tibbles in The World's Greatest Hoaxes, which was published in 2006, has claimed that Norman Jeffries was involved in hoaxing the Jersey Devil, and this is a snippet from the book. Norman Jeffries, publicist for Philadelphia's Arch Street Museum and renowned hoaxer, was well aware of the stories about the Jersey Devil. So when the museum proprietor, T.F. Hopkins, admitted that it was in danger of closure unless Jeffries came up with something to boost attendances, the publicist decided that a captive Jersey Devil would be the ideal crowd pillar. So, yeah, there you go. He also planted non-fictional newspaper stories about the sightings of the devil. During 1909, Jeffries, with his friend Jacob Hope, an animal trainer, purchased a kangaroo from a circus and glued artificial claws and bat wings onto it. They declared to the public they had captured the devil, and it was displayed at the museum. 20 years later, Jeffries admitted to the hoax. Wow. So there you have it. So even though to this day people are still claiming that they see the Jersey Devil, I highly doubt it. To me, once I read about that, I was like, okay, I'm done. There is no Jersey Devil. It was just all made up, like this publicity guy. He did all of it. It was all made up. Yeah. But I still haven't found anything about Mothman. So I still believe in Mothman. But Jersey Devil, not so much. There is a lot of cultural relevance with the Jersey Devil. In Man and Beast, an American comic legend folklorist Richard Dorson outlines a 6-point criteria for establishing distinction among legendary creatures of American folklore. While the Jersey Devil was not expressly cited by Dorson, it nevertheless qualifies for this same level of relevance. Dorson specifies that the qualifier must exist in oral tradition, inspire belief and conviction, and become personalized and institutionalized, is financial or in a mythical, and contain a comical side, which endears to the American public. Oral tradition of the Jersey Devil well predates printed newspaper accounts and belief, and its existence by many is still ongoing. So basically, this writer was saying that in order to become a cryptid, this is what you need to have, and the Jersey Devil had all of that, so therefore we are going to make the Jersey Devil cryptid. The Jersey Devil's fanciful or mythical nature is explored in the numerous works of fantasy. It makes an appearance to include The X-Files, the Jersey Devil video game, The Wolf Among Us, 13th Child, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, The Real Adventures of Johnny Quest, The Barons, Carney, A Night with the Jersey Devil, Legend Quest, and Gravity Falls. Many of which, such as Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and Jersey Devil video game, not only reflect the Jersey Devil's mythical character, but exemplify its comical nature as well. So it also has a lighter side as well. And that's something that, a lot of people, say with the Mothman as well, that not so much that there's anything comical about this creature, but when people, portray him, or they talk about him, they bring up the high pitch sound that always comes from him, and so they say he's like this big, powerful creature and has a little squeak like this, which that makes it hilarious. So yeah, I'm gonna end the video now. It's a 20-minute video. That's about the time that I wanted to give on this. So if you liked this video, you enjoyed it, please like and subscribe if you want to see more videos like this in the future. So, and also I wanted to show you my shirt because it is really cool. So I'm going to stand up like really slow so you can see it. It's an all-night double feature of the creatures in person, Mothman and the Flatwoods Phantom. Isn't that awesome? I love this shirt. It's like one of my favorites. So anyway, the Flatwoods Phantom is a completely other cryptid. I don't want to get into that. It's another West Virginia thing. It was actually proved to be a hoax not long after it came out, but it's still there. It's still a thing, but not near as popular as Mothman for West Virginia. So I'm going to end this video. So this is Spooky Marshmallow saying, remember, keep it spooky, my friends.